Well, folks, the NFL season has finally concluded. Super Bowl 60 last night in Santa Clara. Not the result that we were looking for here as Patriots fans on the Terranadome, but myself and Josh Morris, we will get into everything that happened in the game, our analysis, and what we think will happen to the Patriots moving forward. All that is next, so stay tuned. Last episode of football season, and it starts right now. The first interception led to a field goal, and the second one led to a touchdown. You lost by 3. That's why you don't turn the ball over. We see it every week from multiple teams. It happens all the time, Patriots. Yeah, Pats +8, Pats money line. Book it, baby. Buffalo's going down. No. That's right. That's right. That's right. Respect the flying Elvis. Buffalo's going down. Denver money line. I like Denver money line too. I like Denver money line too. I think this is the week for Philly. Denver is better than that 2-2 record for sure. It is. That's gonna be a low-scoring game over there in Philly. I think I'm gonna hammer the under on that game too.
Known as fair square throughout my years, so I growl at the living foul. Black to the bone, my home is your home.
Well, welcome to Terranadome. Terranadome, and it starts right now. Well, folks, it is the day after Super Bowl 60, and unfortunately for me, my New England Patriots not only did not get the job done on this night, but frankly, they barely even showed up to this game. They might as well have stayed back in Foxborough. It's you know what I mean? So, anyway, 29-13, Seattle was not a scorigami. I had a wager in for a scorigami. If it had stayed 22-7, it would have been scorigami, but no such luck for me on that. You know, if we're gonna lose, at least we can make a little money on it. Anyway, my name's Scott. It's Scott Terrana, the Terranadome. Josh Morris, he's back, as he has been all playoff long and pretty frankly all season long. Josh, you were probably a little bit more satisfied with the result of this game than I was.
I mean, to see a division rival win on your home field is never satisfying per se. I had someone ask me like who I was rooting for, and I was like, well, it is San Francisco. I'd like an earthquake, crack the field open and everyone just fall in the middle and the game just be called, because it's tough to watch two teams that, not that I hate the Patriots, but living in this area makes it really tough.
I understand.
So, Pats fans can be insufferable at times. So if they had won, there's 6 to 8 months of listening to that.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Insufferable. Yeah, we're pretty terrible. Yep.
And then Seahawks, they're on the other side of the country, but it's still a division rival, so you're not rooting for them either. You know what I mean? So, and it wasn't even like a great game either. So it's one of those things where it was kind of like I was just kind of like there for the game.
Yeah, I mean you got to watch it, right? So. Anyway, this one starts out. We're not doing full play-by-play or anything like that. There's really no need to do that here, folks. But, it starts out. Seahawks, Pats win the toss. Seahawks get the ball first. They drive the field, but the Patriots hold them to 3. And that would be a theme for the first half, where the Seahawks drive the field and the Patriots hold them to 3. On the flip side, it looked like almost straight away that the offensive line was going to be completely dominated in this game. If you recall, folks, just last Friday, a mere 3 days ago, I had 5 keys heading into this game, and I said the New England Patriots are going to have to do these 5 things, almost all 5 of them, to win this game, or have any shot at winning this game. The first thing that I mentioned was the left side of the offensive line. It needs to hold up. And what happened? The exact opposite. Will Campbell, 4th pick in the draft this year. 4th pick in the draft. I don't know why it's in the box again. 4th pick in the draft. You pick a left tackle in 4 overall. That guy's got to be a franchise left tackle. He's got to be that guy that's going to be there for the next decade. Will Campbell is not that guy. I'm sorry. He is not. He allowed 14 quarterback pressures in this game. 14 in one damn game. That's the most allowed by any lineman in the league in the last 8 calendar years. Start with that. Jared Wilson didn't play well either. His left guard next to him. And frankly, Campbell was so bad that John Gruden was, I think Portnoy was talking to John Gruden today. And like, basically saying if we had helped Campbell out, like, brought in another tight end to help him chip or whatever, would that have made a difference? And Gruden basically said Will Campbell was so bad it would not have made a difference if you tried to help him. That's how bad he was. So the offensive line didn't hold up. Uh Drake May wasn't good either in this game, frankly. Fourth quarter, he put up some garbage time stats. So Drake May, I thought the moment, I actually posted it to Facebook at one point in the third quarter. It looked like the moment was too big for the kid. And a lot of people think that Drake May is still hurt and that right shoulder's really messed up. I'm not sure I agree with that or not. But basically, Josh, through 3 quarters of the Super Bowl, the Patriots offense had 5 punts to start the game, one end of half kneel down, 3 more punts, and a May lost fumble. Do you want to guess how many total yards of offense they had through 3 quarters? Would you like to guess, or do you happen to know?
Well, I know at halftime I think they had 51. Um, and I know through 3 quarters he had 60 yards. He was 8 for 18 with 60 yards. And that's not net. So I'm imagining it's under 50 yards.
They had 78 yards of offense. Because you got
My
to
God.
remember they ran the ball a little bit in the first half. So 78 total yards for the offense through 3 quarters of this game. They actually did manage a touchdown out of nowhere right after Seattle went up 19-0 to begin the fourth quarter. They make it 19-7 with 12:26 to go. But May throws interceptions on the next 2 possessions, one of them being a pick six. Pats were never really in this game. My second key was the Pats need to win the turnover battle to have a shot to win this game. They did not. Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over. Oh my God. Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over. And Drake May did 3 times. And that's because he was running for his life all night. Number three. Oh, and by the way, Josh, I don't know about you, but when this game was like 9-0 early in the third quarter, the room of people I was in with, these people, the people I watched the game with, and we had a good time. I turned to the rest of the room and I said, it feels like it's 35-0. Like it was only 9-0, but I'm like, it feels like it's 35-0. This is not happening. It's not possible.
Yeah, and
Um,
and I think I had actually texted you. Darnold missed a couple throws that could have really been daggers in
he
that
wasn't
first.
great. He was not great in this game. He didn't have to be.
Like that throw, I think it was towards the end of the second half, the one that Gonzalez tipped that was supposed to be to JSN. If Darnold makes a better throw and throws that towards the goalpost in the back half of the end zone, it's a touchdown because JSN had gotten a step on Gonzalez. Instead, it's a little behind him. Gonzalez almost picks it off, but like those little plays right there, that's why it felt like that because those drives could have been touchdowns, which would have made it what 19-0 at half instead of 9 at half, right? Because they had two chances I think for touchdowns. One they did so 17, I should say. So instead of 17, you're looking at 9, which is a huge difference.
Yeah, it still felt like even though but again, it didn't feel like they were in the game at all, and they were still
No.
in the game, right? Uh, you mentioned Christian Gonzalez. There was one positive in this entire game for this entire team, and it was Christian Gonzalez. The kid is a stud. You got to pay him. Sorry, Bobby, but you got to open your wallet up and you got to pay this kid. And if you don't, you guys you're foolish for letting him go. It wasn't only that ball. There was another one. I know the other one was in double coverage. It was a deep ball.
No, the Shaheed one. I mean, if he doesn't tip that, it's a touchdown.
That's absolutely a touchdown. I mean, he went up and got to that ball and basically like volleyed it away like he was like a volleyball player, like way up in the air. That kid is phenomenal. But really, that was about it for positives for the Patriots in this game. Key number three, I said they have to somehow have success running the football. I thought they got away from it too early in this game. They only carried it 18 times for 79 yards. Stevenson was getting yards, and
Mm.
I thought that they got away from it too early. Meanwhile, on the other side, Seattle did something that we were talking about this before we started recording, Josh, but Seattle did something I didn't expect that they were going to be able to do, which is I assumed that the Patriots would be able to shut down the run like they have all year when Milton Williams has been in the lineup, and they did not do that.
No, and I mean, to any Seahawks fan or Seahawks coaching staff guy who thought Kenneth Walker couldn't be an every down back, just take a look at this playoff run. The guy has had over 20 carries every game, and he's had over 100 yards in every playoff game.
Yeah.
Looks like a three down back, looked really good, looked physical, has speed, looked like a really, really good all around back. And, we were, like you said, we were talking about it. They were physical with the Patriots. It wasn't just all these stretch runs and speed runs. I mean, Kenneth Walker did a great job of running it right in between the A and B gaps, and then somehow like taking the contact that you get from those bigger guys and still getting 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, and that was another thing that I noticed. Probably somewhere around the third, the middle of the third quarter of this game, it just seemed like Seattle was physically tougher than the
Mm,
Patriots were. They seemed bigger, they seemed faster. Walker had his way, really. If they had fed him, I think they realized that they were gonna win this game, and they really didn't have to feed him as much in the second half. But he was, I mean, they didn't bother trying to run it up the middle. They didn't have to. They knew that they had more speed on the outside. They used their tight ends. They pulled their guards out, and he was getting to the edge so consistently. It
mm.
absolutely drove you up a wall as a Patriots fan, because you don't see this many. You don't see edge rushing like this anymore. Everybody's too fast nowadays. Well, the Bears fan that was in the room with us last night, before the game even started, correctly pointed out that our linebackers are slow. He was right. The Patriots linebackers were slow last night. And also couldn't get any pressure on. I mean, they got a little bit of pressure on Sam Darnold, but just one sack. Whereas the offensive line gave up six.
Mm.
Drake May sacked 6 times. I think that he started to get gun shy. He started to get a little wee bit squeamish there, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. You could see it. He rushed a couple of throws that, for the majority of this year, those were pitch and catch throws. You know what I mean? Like I think there was one in the beginning or the end of the third quarter. He had like a little dig route on third down. It was like a little 5 yard dig, and he threw it like a foot behind him.
Yeah.
And Collinsworth, I think, made the comment like he's just not. These are throws that he's made all year long, and they needed to be made because they were big third downs or second and longs or whatever, and he would just miss the throws, which we hadn't really seen all year.
Right. I think I said it to one of my friends. I think it might have been good old Ray. Ray, I know Ray's watching the show. He's probably expecting me to be all sad. Yes, he's expecting me to be all sad, and he doesn't like Vrabel and all this, so like he gets on me for like loving Vrabel and all this and whatever. But I said it to him. I said I don't think that May missed this many throws the entire regular season as he did in that game last night. Now that's a slight exaggeration, of course, but he missed 8, 10 throws in that game. I mean, and it's not like these were like deep shots down the field either. A lot of these were short, quick passes, just off, which made a
Yeah.
lot of people speculate that, oh, he must be hurt. I'm really not sure that that's the case. I mean, he still took some deep shots in this game. It didn't look like he was lacking arm strength to me.
I mean that one where he overthrew Austin Hooper on the blown
That
coverage.
was bad. That one we were all groaning at that
Oh,
one.
I
That
can
was
I
a
can imagine air coming out of the room because that I mean, that was I think right after the Hollins touchdown, right? So it was
yeah.
19-7. I mean that a big play like that, you go down to the 30, 40 yard line or something because they did have a deep safety, but like, that might have turned the tides there. And then then again, it was another misthrow or a blitz, or I mean, he was under constant pressure, and that's what we had talked about Friday. Again, watching Brock Purdy go through 2 straight weeks. They get after the quarterback. They don't care if it's a 4 man rush. They don't care if they have to bring pressure. But Mike McDonald obviously understands that's where the game is won. If you can get to the quarterback, it changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. That leads me to key number 5. I'll skip I guess I'll tell you the fourth one later, but key number 5. Remember I said how, because you bring up how Mike McDonald, what he did, and it was on full display last night, and it was true whether they were bringing 4, 5, or 6 even,
Mm.
which they did. They brought 6 a few times as well. They got home consistently, and we saw This is how you beat Tom Brady in the Super
Yeah,
Bowls. If they can do it to TB12, they can do it to a 23-year-old Drake May. I'm sorry.
absolutely.
Um, but the Pats, I said it, the Pats should have the coaching advantage. They should be better prepared and better coached than Seattle. That wasn't the case either in this game. Not by a long shot.
No, Mike McDonald, I mean,
Give him his
that's why
flowers.
you hire these young guys that maybe really haven't proven themselves. Because you know what? Like the Sean McVays, the Mike McDonalds, these younger coaches, like they they bring like life to these younger teams, and obviously he's a phenomenal defensive minded coach because their defense is something else. It's otherworldly, really.
They they deserve all the credit today. They honestly do. They took it to him. And you could even kind of tell they would show shots of Rabel on the sideline, even in by the second quarter, you could kind of tell you could see it in his face, like he looked a little desperate, like he looked like we're really in some effing trouble here, you know.
Mm.
Uh, and then of course I just want to give a quick shout out to to the people at the Publix Radio and Ocean State Media had me on this morning to do a little 5 minute interview about the game. I really appreciate what they did there. I don't know if I wanted. I feel like I'd have to get their permission to use it in this, so like I guess I'm not going to do it. But they had me on, and the guy that's interviewing me, Lewis. Shout out to Lewis. He's Luis Hernandez. He's from Miami. He's a Dolphins fan. I think he enjoyed asking me the questions this morning, and it's like, all right, well, that's fine. You can have it. Uh, but man, yeah, constant pressure on May. Oh, the fourth did the last key that I didn't mention. They said if they slow down JSN, they should have a good shot at winning. But remember, they had to get the other stuff going right too.
Mm.
JSN got a concussion at some point in this game. He never looked right after that. 10 targets, 4 catches for 27 yards. Didn't matter. Kenneth Walker was too good. The defense is what won them this game. So, yeah, hats off to him. There's really nothing else you can say. Uh, they had that touchdown to get it to 19-7. The Patriots with 12:26 to go. But then May misses the Hooper throw and then throws an interception. And then on the next possession, he throws an interception. Like I said, one was a pick six. They were never in this game. Do we want to do a post-mortem here? Or is there anything else you want to talk about, particularly with this game? Not a remarkable product on the field. I thought this was kind of this product-wise, football game-wise itself, this was not a great game.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless you were a Seahawks fan,
Of
right? Like, unless
course,
you were a
yeah.
Seahawks fan, this game was gross. It was ugly. It was slow, right? I mean, 9-0 at halftime. There wasn't much substance in the actual football being played. I mean, if you love great defenses, I mean, both defenses. You said you know, the only positive was Christian Gonzalez. Milton Williams played a really good game too. He
He
was
did.
getting to Darnold. He just couldn't get the guy down, which I found incredible because Darnold's like not the most fleet of foot, but I mean he kept moving their guards right to the side and getting in, and then just could not make the play. Which I mean, I think he did it. He was the only one that got the sack, right? He was the one sack, and you could
That's
tell
right.
when he got him, he was pumped. He was like, finally.
Yeah, that guy's a beast. Rarely do you get a free agent signing and it's for all that it's for big money, right?
Mm,
It's the highest salary, you know what I mean, year salary AAV that they've paid any free agent in the history of the franchise. He's
mm.
been better than that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's been very good.
until last night, I don't know if you know this or not, but this season, until last night, they had not lost a game when Christian Gonzalez and Milton Williams have both been in the lineup.
Wow.
They had not lost. All three of those losses came when Williams was out of the lineup. So, or no, who was out of them? Gonzalez missed week one. That's right. Gonzalez missed week one. He might have missed the Pittsburgh game too, actually, because that was in week. It doesn't matter. But point being that is that was the case until last night. So, those are two people I hope they hold on to for a long time. You got to pay Gonzalez. Um. As far as this Patriots team and this Patriots season goes, boys and girls, I think we got to take the high road here. Uh, this team was not supposed to be here. I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, even they got there still weren't supposed to be there. Uh if Bo Nix is healthy, do they beat the Broncos in Denver? I kind of doubt it. Uh if Josh Allen comes to Foxborough in a blizzard, if they had beaten Denver, do they beat Josh Allen in a blizzard? I don't know. You know what I mean. But even the fact that they were in those positions, this is a team that is coming off of 8-26 in their last
Mm,
two seasons. 8-26, and you go from that. We just won one 7 years ago. We weren't supposed to be back here. It's
no.
not. It ain't right. It ain't fair. We're all spoiled, rotten Boston fans, and everyone. No one can stand us. Be happy with the result that you got this year, Patriots fans. And by the way, Josh, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a step back next year because the schedule is going to be much more difficult. And now everybody's going to be gunning for you because they know that you might be legit. So I think they're going a little bit backwards next year. Um, but the future's bright. You have the quarterback. I still think that's true, despite the fact that he really didn't play super great in the playoffs. But still, I think you have the quarterback. You got the right coaches in place. A lot of young talent on this team. There are certainly areas that they need to improve. Um, but you shouldn't be complaining today, Patriots fans. That's all I'm saying. You really shouldn't be complaining. I know you are, and I know you're going to be, but you shouldn't be complaining today.
Yeah, you're one of the more level-headed ones because, I'm sure a lot of Pats fans are like, we should have won that game, and it's like,
No, no,
like, no, no, you
no,
shouldn't have. I
nope.
think this was a slice of humble pie from the football gods because, like Scott just said, you weren't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? You know, and for you to say, like, people don't understand, like, the team that loses the Super Bowl usually does not go back. You know what I mean? It's
No,
usually a curse.
no, almost
It's
never.
usually a
Yeah.
curse. So, Pats fans, don't expect 14-3 next year. Like,
No,
don't set yourself up because don't get me wrong. I will agree with Scott. I think Drake May is a very good quarterback. He's not Tom Brady.
no.
He's going to be 24 years old. He's still very young. And, we talk about the sophomore slump, and I know this is technically going to be his third year, right? But I think what the sophomore slump really has to do with is because you get drafted, you're coming off a really bad year. So you're playing a weaker schedule. And then you play well. And then now you got to play one of the top 10 schedules in the NFL. So you're going to play better defenses, you're going to play better football teams. And I think that's where a lot of that sophomore slump comes from because now you're facing better teams. And not to pile on Drake May, but against top 10 defenses this year, he wasn't very good. I think he had a passer rating of about 83, completion percentage of 64%, where, I think for the total year he was above 70. So it's like you have to realize he's going to have to see some growth next year. And sometimes that growth means you're also taking a little bit of a step back where you might go 12-5 or 11-6. And, that's still really good in the NFL for a team, like you just said, in the last 2 years that were 8-26. So if you are a Pats fan, realize that you have the building blocks and you're already way ahead of where most teams are in their rebuild after they've had a 20-year dynasty. You know what I mean?
Right. Not that anyone's really ever had a 20-year dynasty, but I get your point.
Hey, the
Um,
Niners were like 13, 15 years. So I
all
mean,
right. All right. Yeah. Like the Cowgirls were in there and the Steelers and then all that. In the case of the Cowboys, it's been 30 years and still nothing. So,
right?
there's
So
that. So that's cute. Yeah, I think Drake May is a competitor. From everything you hear, he seems to be a little aloof and kind of like laid back and like happy go lucky, whatever. But when he's on the field, I think it's a different story. I expect him to work his tail off because he's gonna know that he's got to get better against these better teams. But yeah, I think realistically a step back is probably in the cards. I think you summed that up very well. Um, yes, I am one of the more level-headed Patriots fans. It comes from being embarrassed by the jackass Patriots fans that make us all look like jerks, and that's part of it. The other part of it is that I have a podcast. It's not Terranadome. Yeah. So I have to be somewhat less of a homer. Plus, there's less egg on my face when I'm wrong. Like, I actually thought they were going to score 27 points against that defense, for example. That defense is ridiculous, and I haven't seen enough Seattle games. The only reason that I think I was a little bit fooled is because, well, Matthew Stafford diced him up a couple times, three times, I think. He diced him up all three times, but Matt Stafford's 37 years old. Matt Stafford's seen everything, has the answers to the test, as Brady said on the broadcast in the NFC Championship game. He's already got the answers to the test. Veteran quarterback's not going to be fooled by that type of defense. And also, the Rams have the personnel to be able to get the ball out quickly and still be able to make stuff happen with it. So that's why I probably got fooled a little bit. But yeah, 23-year-old quarterback. He was clearly overmatched by that defensive game plan. It looked to me like he would shift protections to one side of the line, and then the pressure would constantly be coming from the other side of the line. That also looked like, I mean, maybe you tell me, you might be a little bit, I think you're a little bit better than me at X's and O's, but
Well, a little bit of like not diagnosing protections, and I don't know if you saw this. He missed a couple hot reads. There were a couple
Mhm.
times where the blitz is coming off the right side. I noticed one specifically. They brought that Witherspoon blitz a couple times where him coming off the corner. He had Diggs and he had that slot receiver a couple times and never really looked to it. He was looking the other way, so he clearly wasn't seeing where the blitz was coming from. And they ran that blitz multiple times.
Oh yeah.
They ran that Witherspoon blitz at least like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
So that's clearly on him learning more and more, which obviously at 23 years old, college isn't running these defensive schemes like this. So it's a lot. It's like, baptism by fire. Like and I'm sure he's gonna watch the film over and over and over and try to learn from it because that's the best defense you're probably gonna see in the NFL for, the next couple years. I mean, that defense was so good.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and it was so hard to watch because you could tell. I mean, they really. I think I said it last week in the show where it's like they disguised their blitzes well. They didn't even really try to hide it last night. I mean, they told you that they were coming, and they knew you couldn't do anything about it. You could see it coming you could see it coming on the TV. It's like,
Hmm.
well,
And I mean, that's another thing too, not to put it all on Drake May. The offensive
no,
line, not even just the left side, the offensive line as a whole was not very good.
it was a hole.
Yeah.
It was a sieve. It was terrible. Um,
Now you had made the comment about Will Campbell, and I don't know if you want to wait, for postseason stuff, but do you see his future moving to a left guard? Do you see them going to get another tackle? Like, is that where you're thinking?
yeah, I don't think. I mean, what I think they're gonna do is they're gonna try and give it a shot for one more year with him as the left tackle. Honestly, I think because Vrabel really likes the kid a lot. Um, do what I see is that he's a guard. He's a
Hmm.
guard. He could end up being an all pro guard, but he's a
Hmm.
guard. He's not to me. He's not fast enough to be a tackle. To
Yeah,
me,
he was getting beat off the ball. Like
off
it
the
was
ball,
just.
and not only that, but he wasn't. I gotta believe that MCL or whatever it was is still messed up for him because I mean he was getting overpowered. They were pushing him backwards into Drake May.
Yeah, there,
That
there was
kid
one specifically, he got bull rushed straight to the
straight
quarterback.
into Drake May's back, and it's like, man, like it's not supposed to be like this. You're a friggin' giant left tackle. To answer your question, though, I do think of he's probably by the 2027 season, right? 2027, 2028. He's going to be a guard, and they're going to have done something else at the tackle position. Because if you think about it, the tackles if you remember way back in like March, April, I mentioned a couple other tackles other than Campbell that I would have liked to have seen them get. Those guys have been playing better.
Mm.
Than they played better than he did. I'm not sure if it's the short arms thing or what it is. I'm really not sure that that's it. I mean, Matt Light had short arms and he was a borderline Hall of Fame caliber left tackle. Um, he
Yeah,
didn't have a problem. So
it could be the injury thing too. And another thing I noticed, like I'm sure you've noticed it, like especially now with the way the tackle position is played, like when it's a passing play, a lot of them are turned and they have that leg already back.
Yeah,
Campbell doesn't do that. So I don't know if that's a pressure point in his leg where it causes some pain to his
yeah.
MCL, or if it's just a technique thing that they haven't worked on him with. But these edge rushers are so stupid fast that you have to take every little advantage that the league gives you. If the league's going to let you start a half second early, you got to do it because these guys are freaks on the edge.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up there. I noticed that like a lot of teams, they let you get the jump now on offense, the tackles at least. That's got to be that what that the guy from the Chiefs there. They got called a million
Juwan
times.
Taylor.
Right, so they made the Jawan Taylor rule. They made the rule for him basically because the Chiefs can get rules made for them and stuff, but the Patriots don't really take advantage of that.
No,
So, I don't know, maybe it could be a coaching point. I think that maybe Campbell's base, what I literally mean is his physical base is not 100%. That knee probably still is a problem. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out he has a procedure. He's a left guard. They're going to have to do something to address that. I think in 2 years, because again, I don't, listen, it was so bad last night that they should have I said it late in the third quarter. I was like, just put Federian low in. Just put him in. How much worse can he be than this?
seriously.
Like for real. But obviously Braves decided to be loyal to his boy there. So
Well,
uh
that was another thing. I almost texted you during the game. Did you like May finishing the game out?
yeah, it's the Super Bowl, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only th man, I mean maybe it's because I'm a Niners fan and they really could be injured at any moment. But I'm thinking the only good thing that happens is that something bad happens to this kid. You know, what I mean, like there's nothing that you can do for your confidence at this point. You know it's garbage time. God forbid an ACL and an
Yeah.
Achilles, something, and he was getting killed back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I
I
also
know.
think Seattle kind of called back the dogs towards the end of the fourth quarter. They weren't really rushing him nearly as much, but um, yeah, I mean, he was getting killed back there. All it takes is one wrong step,
Yeah.
and 2026 is gone. You know.
Yeah, it's true. But I just think that you run the risk of a Mac Jones situation almost, where you kill the kid's confidence or something if you do take him out of the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, I definitely get your point, and especially on that field. So yeah, I mean, he could have just just dropped back to pass, and there goes the ACL. There goes the Achilles, a la Rodgers. I don't know. But I'm pretty much okay with it. Anything else you want to add about Super Bowl 60, or you want to wrap up this NFL season?
I was gonna say let's shut down 2025.
All right, 2025, 2026 is in the books, folks. Um, any other items you would like to get to before we close this one up? Josh, this is gonna be a quick. I intended on this being a quick show. This looks like we're about 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, unless you want to talk about like, what you feel the Pats have to do to, maybe not take that step back. Like, I would like to hear. I mean, you got to be thinking you need another skill player or two,
yeah,
right? You have to be thinking that.
yep.
And then obviously the offensive line. Besides that, do you really think there's anything holding this team back?
I'd say depth, maybe I think an edge rusher would help. Uh, it's great that they can get pressure up the middle, but I mean, Harold Landry kind of disappeared after he got hurt in early November. The linebackers are a little slow, so like, yeah, I love the secondary. Love the secondary. I think the back end of the team is great. I'd like to see some linebacker depth and get me an edge rusher too. So like those are your four. Those are your four. I would say you need skill position players. Probably a receiver. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Hunter Henry looks like he's slowing down to me. Um,
I
the
will say,
offense.
I thought Ramondre looked great yesterday.
I did too. I was like, you know what? Stevenson's legit. He figured it out this year. I have no problems with him. If they had used him more, who knows? But really, after the first couple of drives, the first three, four drives, they stopped going to him. But you need a receiver. You need a top end receiver. Diggs isn't that guy anymore.
Mhm.
He's lost a step. He's still very good, but he's not a number one receiver anymore. So you need that. The rest of the receiving core, I kind of like where they are. You just need a number one. And oh, by the way, I don't think it's going to go very well if Diggs comes back next year either. I
You
think
could
we
kind of see it towards the end of that game. He was looked like the switch had flipped.
it did. I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that he also snuck a girl into his hotel room while Cardi B was at the game. And now they've unfollowed each other on Instagram and they were making mean comments to each other on Instagram. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but Diggs is going to be Diggs. Um, Gross. But I think, year one, I said this early on, year one, we like Diggs. Anything after year one, it's anybody's guess what he's going to be like. So, you need a real number one receiver. I would like to see if they could draft one, but of course they're going to have the 31st pick in the draft, so it's not going to be that easy to do.
Mm.
But I do like a few receivers that are coming out this year. Um, yeah, offensive line is the main one. No, it's the main. You have to do. I don't know if Garrett Bradbury's going to be back. You're gonna move Jared Wilson to center, which is his natural position. He's a better center than he is a left guard. Then you either need a left guard or you need to admit that maybe Will Campbell's not it. You spent the number 4 pick on the draft on that kid. You're not going to bounce him into left guard after 1 year. I don't think.
Mm. I mean, unless you get like, I mean, if you have the opportunity to maybe get all pro in free agency, you have to do it, right?
Yeah, if you do, I mean, and they have money to spend, that's for sure.
Mm. I mean,
But
because I was that literally watching him last night. That was my first like visceral reaction is like this guy's not a tackle, not an elite tackle. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, even against some of the weaker competition this year, like he's had some good games for sure. But you never looked at it the way you looked at the way he played, and you just said, "Oh yeah, this guy's a lock. He's gonna be a lot. He's gonna be our left tackle for, however many years." Because it's just nothing stands out to you
Mm.
uh, from that spot. So we'll see. I mean, maybe he can get a little bigger and a little stronger in the off season, but I don't even still like is the reaction time good enough? Like I don't know. It's a rookie playing in like his. I think he missed 3 games, so it's a rookie playing in his like 17th game. Professional football. Maybe there's a wall there. I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, those are some of the things I think would help them not take a step back. But ultimately, they're going to play a much tougher schedule next year. So we shall see. Folks, that's the Super Bowl 60 edition of the Terranadome. And yeah, thanks for sticking with us all season. Thank you for being on all season, Josh.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Think there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus here. I know my guy, my freelance guy that helps me with the SEO promotion and everything is not going to like that, but I'm a little exhausted. Frankly, I've got some things that I need to take care of. Um, but I'm thinking around the 3/4 pull for the Celtics season would be a good time to come back. That'll be just after the Olympics, or maybe right as the Olympics are ending for hockey as well. So I'm thinking first week of March, the show
Hey,
will make a return.
football's a long, arduous season. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's been besides the 2 weeks that I took off to mourn the passing of someone. It was very important that I had to take those 2 weeks. But other than that, it's been 20 some odd straight weeks of football. So
Mm.
it's time, and don't worry, not going away forever. I would not do that. At least not yet. There's only one way I would do that, and I don't know that I'm ever going to quite get to that level. So that's okay. Um, but folks, I appreciate all the love and support. Um, might do a little dynasty episode actually, a little Pat's dynasty that no one's gonna want to hear that except Patriots fans. But Ray's been clamoring to get on the show so we can just like pitch pants tents over the dynasty years. And honestly, it's a good idea. It's just that I don't think he can stop himself from swearing a million times, and I don't want to have to edit the show that much. But we'll see. It's definitely something that could happen. So, folks, stay tuned. You never know what's coming next, but we will be back before you know it. It's the Terranadome. Tell somebody you love them today because tomorrow is not promised, people, and I can promise you that is a fact. And Josh, thanks again, as
Thanks.
always.
Hey, sir. Pleasure always.
Absolutely. I predict when the show does return that you'll be on again, since we'll be talking Celtics. And yeah, some Celtics Bruins. We'll be gearing up for Red Sox season by then. Of
Pitchers and
course.
catchers reporting this week, right?
Yes,
Let's
that's true.
go.
That's true. So things are moving, which is great. If we could just get out of this damn winter, then we'd really be on to something. But folks, tell somebody you love them today, because tomorrow is not promised. It's the Terranadome. I'm Scott Terrana. He's Josh Morris. We will see you in a bit. Be well, be safe, and peace out.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. And say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry, Joe Hendry.